Hi, and welcome to Tony's Garage 88. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about what makes a 2001 Bullitt a Bullitt. I'm also going to talk about what you can expect to see from this car on the channel moving forward. Starting with the exterior appearance differences, most noticeably is they deleted the spoiler. Huge fan of that. Love it. They added this brushed aluminum fuel door. Not a huge fan of that. Might change that out. They gave the car different side scoops. A lot of guys really like these, and girls like these. You see a lot of people trying to get a hold of them and putting them on their regular GTs, Cobras, things like that. They gave the car a different C-pillar. This kind of slants forward as opposed to the regular GT. They gave the car mud guards. Kind of a fan of that, a little different. Car originally had 17-inch bullet style wheels. I've since swapped them out for 18-inch deep dish bullet style wheels and a matte black finish. Moving to the back, the only badge on the exterior car to let you know that it's a Bullitt is the rear Bullitt badge. Car also got rolled exhaust tips, which is different than a regular slash cut. The car also has a different exhaust system. Supposedly it flows 20% better than stock. They also did their best to give it that original, 394 speed tone, as much as you can do with a modern 4.6 liter. Moving to the front of the car, basically a standard GT, aside from it's got the leaded fog lights. I've added a Mach 1 chin spoiler and a Mach 1 grille delete along with a black running horse. Yes, those screws are going to get changed out to black screws. The original grille was different. Ford changed this. This used to be chrome. This was chrome on the other cars. The Bullitt has a black ring around it. I didn't like the honeycomb, so I took it off. They did give the car some Cobra touches. You got the larger front and rear brakes, red calipers with a little running horse in there. These are just like the brakes that would have came out of Cobra. The car also got a Cobra clutch, 11-inch, I think it's 11-inch Cobra clutch. Moving into the interior, the car got more heavily bolstered front seats. These are very similar to the 01 Cobra. They're probably the same, I would guess. They got different seat covers though. They got the the 1960s seat cover. Moving inside, you get a full dark charcoal interior. They gave the car a different gauge cluster. You get the hand burner 9000. I mean, if you know, you know. Fun little mod you can try. See if I can get it to zoom in. These shift knobs originally didn't come with any red on the inside. What you can do is go grab your kid's crayons, find your favorite color of red, and just kind of grind all that red into there. Or whatever color you want, really. It doesn't have to be red. But then you get that little mod. And then you got the chrome ring around the shifter. They gave the car these sick race car style pedals. And this is going to help you from missing a shift when you're getting gapped by a coyote. You don't want no excuses. Underneath the hood, you'll see one of the identifying marks to know whether it's a true Bullitt or not. There's also one underneath the rear seat. There is two. Now to that extra 5 horsepower. Ford went all out on this one. They gave the car a different intake manifold and a twin 57mm throttle body, giving the car a whopping 265 horsepower. That's 5 horsepower more than a standard GT. If you read up on the Bullitt when they were building this car, they did want to use the 32-valve motor. SVT didn't want to let them. They wanted to keep that gap between the GT and the Cobra. They didn't want, something to be too close. I gave the car a little race car mod. You got that JLT cold air intake. Car's also got an off-road mid-pipe. The intake manifold is obviously the biggest difference, but it did help a lot, believe it or not. It didn't give you a lot more peak power, but it gave you a lot more torque across the curve. A lot of people get focused on peak power numbers, peak torque, peak horsepower, but power across the curve can go a long way, and it showed when these cars were at the drag strip. These cars would normally run around 14.0, maybe, if you were as good, good driver could get it into 13s. where standard GT was more of a mid to low 14-second car, and a Cobra was going to be, I'd say, more towards a high 13-second car. Depending on driver, it's all the biggest factor. Best I've ran in this car is a 13.6. So I guess the JLT cold air intake and the mid pipe did do something. Future plan for this car, I mean, this thing, for its day, it wasn't bad, but by today's standards, my wife's F-150 is door-to-door with this thing. I mean, I really got to let it eat to try and beat her. So, as much as the intake manifold was a nice touch, it's going to be removed and replaced with a Torque Tech kit. It is on order. They are on intergalactic back order, so hopefully I'll see that in the next month or so. But before that happens, this car does have 100,000 miles on it, and she needs some love. The valve seals are leaking. At least I hope it's just the valve seals. So I'm going to take the valve covers off, clean up this engine compartment for sure. It's definitely pretty dirty. And put some new valve seals in it. You can expect to see that video. A couple of things people don't really know that the Bullitt had. It does have subframe connectors. It is lowered a little bit, more than a standard model. That's got to get fixed. It is lowered a little more. I plan to lower the car even more on some H&R springs. Put some Coney orange shocks and struts in all the way around. New control arms. Just freshen it up. She's old. The biggest mod you're going to see is that Torque Tech kit. Also, I'm going to do some things cleaning it up. The caliper's got some paint missing. Got to clean those up. Paint the rest of the bracket black. All rusty and shit. Paint the rotor's hat. Not the actual rotor face, the rotor hat. This car was in a little bit of a fender bender. Or I don't know what they ran over. You can see how the bumper is damaged. I have a new old stock NOS front bumper that I'm probably going to have painted up when I have the new hood painted. But the lower radiator support got damaged, so that's got to get replaced. The hood's going to get swapped out with an 0304 style Cobra hood. Before you call me a Fobra, the original Bullitt car had a very similar hood. It had the two forward vents. So, and I'm really not a fan of this fake scoop hood. So we're going to switch it out to the Cobra hood, which I also need to change hoods in order to clear the Torque Tech supercharger kit. And I believe that is everything. I tried to hit all the points on what makes a Bullitt a Bullitt. I might have missed one or two. I'm going to post in the link where I got all my information from. LMR's got a nice write-up on it, along with Ford Racing. I'll post both those links in the description. Until next time, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. Remember, the time is now. Get out in the garage, have some fun. Life's too short.